Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Game Changers TV. We are here today with Commissioner Vivian Thomas. Again, I am Shay Dixon, the owner of Dixon Consulting Group. Ms. Thomas, talk to me about being commissioner in Henry County.
Oh my goodness.
What does the job entail?
Well, let's see if I can start from the beginning, Shay.
Sure.
When I became commissioner here, I was all excited.
Right.
And on day one, I walked into my area to work in, and it was perfectly clean. Not a desk. Well, no, it was a desk.
Right.
Excuse me. No papers, no
wow.
pencil, nothing in transition. I walked in, and one of the people said to me, "You're on your own." And I thought, oh my gosh, they're just going to throw me out here and leave me.
Right.
But what does the job entail? That's a very good question. We are here to represent the growth and development of the county. That's
Right.
the best way to put it. We're looking at what dollars come into the county, how we get those dollars into the county, how to maximize them on behalf of the citizens here. Many of the citizens say, I want growth, I want parks, I want nursing facilities,
Right.
nursing facilities as well. We want things for our children, but at the same time, I want to maintain a high quality of life. Well, our job is to balance out these wants and needs. There are certain things we need. We
Right.
need commercial growth, and we need residential growth. We need transportation, but we need infrastructure. We need a high quality of life, but we need parks too. So we have to determine how to balance out the needs, the desires, and the wants of the citizens and deliver on behalf of the citizens.
Wow, you really summarized that well. I appreciate it. So it sounds like you do a lot. How did this journey start for you? How did you become county commissioner?
Well, I guess I need to tell you the truth, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have always been involved in the community. Wherever my children were, I was there. It was PTA mom, I was there.
Right.
If it's basketball, mama's there. If it's running track, mama's there.
Right.
Whatever it took to be with my children and to support them, I was there. I didn't really get into the political area in Henry County until maybe the last 7 or 8 years. I was doing a lot of work in Atlanta. And then when my children hit high school, I thought, wait a minute, I'm helping a whole different area.
Right.
I'm fighting battles over here because I taught in Atlanta public school system. And I was helping over there and working really hard. And I looked and said, wait a minute, I got to help my children too.
Right.
And so that prompted me to get involved in the Henry County area, to say I need to know what's happening in this area. What are the schools doing? Where are my tax dollars? Who is my commissioner? And I did try and reach out to my commissioner a couple of times.
Right.
And the third time, I felt like I was being, kind of pushed to the side.
Right.
And I thought, okay, I'll just take your job. And that's what I did.
What? Wow.
That's really what happened to me. I decided to be the change that I wanted to see. We often hear that term, be the change that you want to see. And I said, okay, it's time for me to do that. Be the
Right.
change I want to see. And I decided, let me put some filters out here. Determine what can I do if I had this title, if I had this position, what can I bring to the county? And I wanted to do just that.
Wow, that's phenomenal. As a mother myself, I often wonder, how can I help? My children are in Henry County School District as well. So to your constituents, to those in the community that want to make change and want to be a part of change for our young people, what are some things that they can do?
Start at the local schools. Start. You know what? When my children were in school, they're all graduated now.
Right.
But there were times I went to their school to visit. I didn't have a name. I was known as Tyra's mom, Ashley's mom, and Tavia's mom.
Right.
Not Miss Thomas. I was Tyra's mom,
Right.
Ashley's mom, and Tavia's mom. But they knew when I walked into that school, I was their mom too.
Right.
So what I'm saying is I went, made myself available. If it took sitting into a classroom, I was there. If it took walking up and down the hallways, I was there. They needed to know that I care enough about them, the whole student body, that I would be there for them. Okay? So it can start just that simple. And from that standpoint, I said, well, let me go down to the Board of Education and start presenting. I know you have these budgets. I know you have these concerns. This is what we need in the schools. I start presenting at the Board of Education, letting my voice be heard, We will not tolerate such and such and so. We will not tolerate this. And then I start recruiting, asking other people, come down to the Board of Education with me. They're talking about, just for an example,
Right.
they're talking about upgrading buses. We need to talk about what we want to see in those upgraded buses. So we did that. And by doing that, I was constantly involved in the community. I reached out to churches and said, I need y'all to come down. They have a $400 million budget, and they are not doing what they need to do for our children with that $400 million budget. And people started to listen and say, we need to go see what they're doing with a $400 million budget. And by doing that, people became engaged in their community. So start small. You don't have to start big. Just start where you are
Right.
in helping your child, and then it will spread.
Right. Start somewhere. So that's great advice. So you started off as a teacher in the Atlantic school system. You went on to advocate for students at the school board. So you've always been an advocate.
Oh, yeah.
You've always used your voice. I understand that you use your voice in other ways. So you serve the community and help women who are overcoming or who have been victims of domestic violence. Is that correct?
Yes, that's my passion work. I often tell people I'm more than a commissioner.
Right.
I have a job, and I will fulfill that job. I know what I have to do when it comes down to county government and county management. I understand as we're going through our budgeting process now. I understand I have to read the budgets and give input on what things we can have and what things we can't have and what things we must cut. But I think when you receive a title or a position like this, I'm continuing to use it to promote something that's dear to my heart, and that's domestic violence. There are so many females and some males, but so many females that are suffering from domestic violence. And it's not a topic that's talked about a lot. We talk about sex trafficking, we talk about drugs, we talk about other addictions, we talk about mental health, but you don't hear the term domestic violence. We have so many females that are now being injured every day, but it's not solved. So many of them have to go back into hostile environments because they don't have the support system needed to get out of there. And we're seeing a whole cycle of this, starting in our schools in the way that the young guys are handling our girls. If you just walk the hallways and see how they talk to them, how they pull on them, how they push on them, how they hit them, it's a cycle. And then that cycles continue when they get grown. It's almost like we're grooming our girls to accept domestic violence as a way of love, and it's not. It's almost like we're grooming our young men. This is how you bully a girl. You push a girl around. You make them do what you want them to do, as if this is the correct way to love, and it's not.
Right.
And when they get grown, adults, they are continuing that cycle. And that cycle is not killing our young ladies, and it's killing our children.
Right.
We need to talk about that.
We do need to talk about it, definitely. So where did your passion come from? Did you just decide one day that you wanted to help women? Did you know someone who had been a survivor? Where did that passion come from?
Well, I am a survivor of domestic violence. I did not have a severe case of that because I got out early.
Right.
Okay, but I am a survivor from a past relationship that I had, and when someone hit me, I immediately knew this is not where I needed to be. And I was strong enough to leave, okay? I was strong enough to say, I have to get out of this.
Right.
But there are so many women don't understand that. And when that happened to me, I decided then that I need to do something to sound the alarm. It's no longer just what we call the street lady.
Right.
It's no longer Shanae.
Right.
It's no longer just the girl that's down in the gutter.
Mm-hmm.
I am meeting teachers.
Yes.
I am meeting lawyers. I am meeting
Executives.
doctors.
Yeah.
I'm meeting executives who don't have control of their own paychecks, who look at me and say, I need help.
Right.
Because they have allowed a predator, and that's what I've called them, a predator into their world, and now has taken over them. And these ladies are getting back up every day, dressing themselves, putting on their makeup, putting on their lipstick, and going back each day, but coming back to an environment that's hostile.
Right.
And it's a cycle that we have to break.
Right. And they're coping, so people don't understand. So there's a lot of stigma behind domestic violence. Why don't they just leave? Why aren't they strong enough? So can you talk to me kind of about that stigma, and how we can overcome, or how we can educate people so that they understand that it's not just a choice, right?
Well, you have to understand there's more than one type of domestic violence.
Okay.
It's not just physical.
Right.
It's emotional and it's mental as well.
Right.
And then it normally turns into something physical.
Right.
And that was a phase that even I went through. A predator has an idea of what he needs to do. First, he's going to search for his victim. He's looking for someone who is single, who has a home, has an apartment, has a car, has money, has a lifestyle, and they move into that lifestyle. Right. It's not a lifestyle that they've earned, but they move into it. And when they move into that lifestyle, they make that woman the queen of their world. And she enjoys that. Every female wants to feel like Cinderella.
We do.
We're still waiting on the prince to come take care of us, okay?
Right.
And I'm not bashing men, because my father was a great man.
Right.
And there are some great men out there. They really are. My brother has 3 sons. He is a great father.
Right.
Just wonderful. So they are great men. So do not take this as another female bashing men. No, this is a female saying our women need to live, and predators are not welcome in our lives like that.
That's correct.
So this predator would say, I'll move in with you. He moved into her house, drives her car, drives in her lifestyle, starting to mingle with her friends, and really it brings that person up to another scale sometime.
Right.
Okay? And when that happens, before he is willing to leave it, before he's willing to let it go, he will destroy it. And there is another case where some of the men are very, very influential.
Right.
They have the money, they have the car, they have the lifestyle, but they also need a star piece. They need a beautiful woman on their arm. They need someone to just show off. That's
Right.
all. And they show this person off, but they don't love that person, they don't cherish that person, and they abuse that person. So there are women in lifestyles that are very, very nice, that's provided by a caretaker, but it's a hostile caretaker. Okay? So there are different prongs here that we have to look for. The key is teaching each other the signs, showing each other how to get out,
Right.
where to get out, when to exit, and stay alive. The goal is staying alive.
Staying alive.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone that maybe is watching this and has experienced some type of domestic violence, what are some tips that you can give them, or some first steps to change their situation?
Remember I said the goal is to stay alive. That's
Yeah.
number one. So I'm not asking women to go home and drastically just make a whole change.
Right.
Use what you have.
Right.
We have 911. When you're away, when you're somewhere, use your 911. They're there to help you.
Right.
Number one. We have to become what I call my sister's keeper. On the 28th of March, we're having a phenomenal women event.
Right.
I do this every year, once a year, to celebrate who we are, what we are, and we talk about how to get to the next level. Okay? So we have to become my sister's keeper. We have to have someone that we can share information with and say, this is where I am and I need help to move out. Find that confidant that you can talk to that can help you move to another level. Okay?
Right.
There are a lot of shelters out here, and these shelters will take you in. Do not be so proud of who you are and what you're wearing. Do not be so proud of the fact you have the pretty nails.
Right.
Do not be so proud of the fact that your shoes have a red bottom on it. For what?
Right.
That you're willing to accept a lifestyle of hostility and beating.
Right.
Let the pride come down and help each other get out of these situations. So have that confidant to talk to. When you have an opportunity to go somewhere else, go another way.
And stay safe.
Stay safe,
Stay
you have to
alive.
live. Stay
Right.
safe, you have to live.
You have to
A
live.
lot of shelters will help you relocate if necessary. So it's not uncommon for a shelter in Georgia to send someone to a shelter in New York,
Right.
or send someone to a shelter in New Jersey.
Right.
Because sometimes these women have to leave from where they are to stay alive
Right.
and to live. And that's what we want you to do. Stay alive and live.
Well, we really appreciate you helping the community understand and bring awareness to domestic violence. So you advocate for our children, you advocate for women who are survivors of domestic violence, but I understand that you advocate for our community as well, for a larger platform, and you've been serving on the front lines. Can you tell me a little bit about your career with the NAACP?
Okay. I love the NAACP.
Right.
I passionately love it. And I say that because this organization's been around 111 years. And it's an organization that stood in the forefront for people like me and for like you, those of us who now sit in these offices in government, those of us who now have the pleasure of being professionals in other jobs, those of us who have our own businesses and can establish those businesses on the forefront and not hide behind the scenes. The NAACP has been that voice.
Right.
If there's a concern in your community and it's concern your civil rights, then NAACP is there to say, let us help you do that. So I am very passionate about the NAACP. I serve as president of the Henry County NAACP, and I'm very passionate about it. I spend my time making sure we have opportunities, not only in this county, at the state level, national level, to participate in this country. That's all. We want to participate in the judicial system. We want to participate in economics. We want to participate in lifestyles. So that's what it's all about. So whenever people say to me, well, how are you a commissioner and the president of the Henry County NAACP? And I am asked that question.
Right.
It's simple. It's very simple. What I represent personally is really through the NAACP. Justice for all. I should represent that as a commissioner.
Right.
Fair housing. I should represent that as a commissioner.
Exactly.
We want to make sure we have equal access to economics. I should represent that as a commissioner.
Right.
So the things that the NAACP is standing for is what I should represent as a commissioner.
Right.
The two don't conflict.
At all. Not at all.
At all.
So oftentimes, being someone who is a millennial, as they say, so I've reaped the benefits of the civil rights movement, of a lot of things that the NAACP has done. And I often hear people, millennials, they don't understand the impact or the amount of freedom or the amount of oppression that a lot of our elders have gone through in order to give us the different things that we have. Is there anything that you could leave with someone like me or someone who's watching who is a millennial that's interested in doing more, that's wanting to make waves and make strides but doesn't know where to start?
I think I can. Because often people say, the NAACP is old. It's outdated. The way they do things is wrong.
They do.
It's just full of old people and the old way.
Right.
I hear that.
Right.
You know what? Be the change you want to be. So let's just say that some of the NAACP practices may be a little bit behind you because I can't use social media as fast as my grandson.
Right.
My grandson, Jaden, we needed to do a parade. I said, I don't have time to put it together.
Right.
He said, I got you.
Right.
So in 2 weeks, he hit social media. He had over 1,000 people in the parade.
Yep.
And I'm going, how did you do that? He said, I got you. I said, we need a program for Dr. Martin Luther King after the parade. He said, I got you.
Right.
I said, how you going to get this? I said, you have no money. He said, don't worry about the money. So, I'm simply saying he used his tools.
Right.
He said, such and so got 40,000 followers. I got him coming. Such and so got 30,000 followers. That one coming. I said, we have no money, Jay. Remember, we have no money.
Right.
He said, don't worry. I told him I'm broke. But anyway, but I'm simply saying he took the tools that he had to make something greater that's already there. So I'm saying to millennials, the foundation's been built.
Right.
All you need is a foundation for a house. If you have a foundation, when you go inside, you can change the sheetrock to make a long room, a square
Right.
room, a round room. You can take that sheetrock and do whatever you want inside that foundation.
Mhm.
All you need is foundation.
That's right.
Okay? And then you can paint it different colors. So
Mhm.
let's just say you came to my house and I said, here's the foundation. You say, you know what? We're going to knock out that wall,
Mhm.
knock out that wall, make this one red and that one pink and this is purple. I'm going, what? Okay, I can't see it,
Right.
but you can. Come build on a foundation.
Mm.
Reshape it if you need to.
Right.
Make it a different color if you have to. But make sure you understand the foundation. Respect the foundation. As long as you don't crack the foundation, you
Right.
can build on it.
Wow.
But when you crack it, then you're going to fall into it.
You are.
Your enemies want you to crack it.
Mhm.
The people want you to crack it
Right.
because that's 111 years plus of blood and sweat and tears and concrete and bricks and
Right.
mortar, all bones, hangings in that foundation.
Right.
It's solid,
Right.
okay? But if you go in as a millennial
Mhm.
and say, we're going to crack this foundation open, you have just failed.
Right.
Because it's going to start to crumble in, fall apart, and you have nothing to build on. Just take the foundation.
Right.
Build on it and make it better.
That's right.
Spread the word. Use every medium you know how.
Right.
They say, we know how to make it bigger and greater. Go for it.
Right.
And be that change you want to be.
Be active. I really
Yes.
appreciate that, you know, that knowledge. I know for someone who wants to take part,
Mhm.
I've never looked at it that way, right? You have laid the foundation. You and many others have laid the foundation. So thank you for that. So I understand you guys have an event coming up, correct? I know you touched on it briefly. Tell me more. I want to hear more about it. Phenomenal
Okay.
Women, correct?
Yes, Phenomenal Women. It is a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
It operates on the Vivian A. Thomas Wise Foundation,
Okay.
which is Women Igniting Social Change.
Mm.
So Women Igniting Social Change has 3 elements that's working under it. One is Phenomenal Women. That happens once a year. That's our celebration point to determine what we've done, celebrate women who are doing miraculous things in the community. We shed some tears there. We hug each other there. We sing there.
Right.
We embrace each other there and determine what work needs to go on.
Mm.
From that, we built Business Over Breakfast. Business Over Breakfast is our economic arm.
Hmm.
We don't want to just tell you to leave a situation
Mhm.
and not tell you how. So
Okay.
on Business over Breakfast, we teach you how to get contracts with the government,
Hmm.
contracts at the state, contracts federal levels, how to do business with each other. So we're networking, not just to sip and drink and laugh. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? So we're saying to others, this person over here has a plaza. So we're going to put your shop, and your shop in this plaza. We're helping you find those networking pieces to build your business. So Business Over Breakfast teaches you how to do that. We brought in community block grants. We brought in state contracts. We brought in local contracts.
Right.
We brought in soul services contracts and everything to show you you can get out. Here's the way to go. So if I'm telling you to get out of a hostile situation and you're thinking, I've got my little babies, I have my children, I have no money, I have no checking account,
Right.
because they make it like that. They want you in a position where you have nothing to leave with.
Mm.
So we're saying, okay, come on. We'll show
Right.
you how to get a career without college.
Hmm.
We'll show you alternative careers that are out there. We'll show you certifications that you can get within so many months. We'll show you what transitional housing is so you can go to that. So that's what Business Over Breakfast is, the economic arm to help our women in distress or families in distress move to another level.
Okay.
That's what that's for.
Right.
And the other thing we do, we call it Game On,
Okay.
which is Government and Me Engaged. That's for my teenagers.
Okay.
We have the pilot program of that at Eagles Landing High School. And the whole goal of that program is to show teenagers how your government affects all parts of your life.
Mm.
And you need to start looking at, do you want to be a county manager? Do you want to be an engineer, water engineer, or stormwater? What do you want to do to impact life? Because whether it's your shoes or the water you drink, a politician made a decision first.
That is well said. So you have multiple arms. So you're Phenomenal Women. You do it every year. It's on March the 28th, correct?
It is.
All right. So how can someone find more information about this?
Okay, it's phenomenalwomen.soaring@gmail.com. That is the email address. So
Okay.
it's really short on that. It's PWSB.
PWSB.
Phenomenal Women Soaring Beyond. Soaring
Soaring.
at gmail.com. My direct line number is 404-229-0349. That's 404-229-0349. You can
Wonderful.
call me there, and it's phenomenalwomen.soaring, www.phenomenalwomen.soaring. It's the website address.
Wonderful. And are you on social media? Can we connect with you on social media at all?
Yes. Okay. I do have social media, and it's Vivian Thomas. It works well because I'm at like 5,000 friends. They're good friends. And I'm kicking people off, getting back on good people, and and people say, "Why you threw me off?" I'm like, "Okay, you're not productive. You gotta go. Bring in some productive people." And it's Vivian Thomas on IG as well. I don't use IG as much as I do Facebook.
Right.
My grandson is going to fix that. He said, "You have to go to IG, Mom. You got to go there." So
That's where the millennials
that's
are.
what he said. So I'm going to do more IG this year than Facebook. But you can find Miss Vivian Thomas on Facebook and Vivian Thomas on IG as well.
Wonderful. Well, we appreciate your time and you speaking with us and telling us all about what you're doing in the community for our women, for our young people, and for people of color and around. So we definitely appreciate that. We appreciate you all for watching. Catch us on the next episode of Game Changers TV.